It's Coffee Talk on FM 94.7 and AM 1450 KBKW. And it's time now for the Insider Report with Everett Hughes. Good morning, Everett.
Good morning, Doug, and how are you today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Well, I'm good, and we've got to talk fast because there's a lot of information in this particular forum topic that we talked about before. We've talked about it a little bit because there's been some cases, but this is going to be on the innocent spouse relief, and there's been some changes to the innocent spouse relief program, not to be confused with injured spouse.
Okay.
Injured spouse is when, especially in a community property state like Washington, where the person that didn't know the tax gets hit with having to pay some of the tax because they filed a joint return, and so in that case, the injured spouse gets their portion of the tax refund back. Innocent spouse relief is when, well, it's relief from additional tax owed if spouse or former spouse failed to report income, reported income improperly, or claimed improper deductions or credits. Now, to qualify somebody for innocent spouse relief, a joint return was required to have been filed. So what happens is everybody files a joint return, and then the IRS finds out later there was some information that was not in the original return.
Okay.
Maybe there was a 1099 from some fisherman, for instance, of $100,000, and it never got put in the 1040 tax return. And Earl and Lulabelle both signed it, and off they went. And then the IRS decides, well, you didn't report $100,000 worth of income. Now, because it was a joint return, they will assess those changes against the spouse who hadn't been the one earning the income.
And may not even know this has happened.
Well, see, that's right. They may not know. Now, the argument from the IRS is, well, if your husband earned $100,000 doing whatever, you certainly got the benefit of it, but sometimes not. Like in the case of a fisherman. I mean, I've known a lot of commercial fishermen. They hadn't left Dutch Harbor but twice during the year, and who knows where that well, we can know where that probably went, but
yeah, okay.
but that's not. We're not going to go there.
Right.
But it can happen. So the innocent spouse relief program, the change was good because, and I don't think listener land needs to know all the 4 code sections, but they're there. But there's been a recent tax act, Lance versus the Commissioner, and what was expanded was the filing period for filing for equitable relief, meaning I need relief from what is not equitable because I had no knowledge, I wasn't a participation in the income that was reported, that should have been reported on the joint return. Now, it used to be that you had a 2-year period to file for innocent spouse relief. But here's what this court case, Lance versus Commissioner, pointed out. What happens if the innocent spouse didn't even know that something was wrong until 4 years after the year in question?
Okay.
So they've expanded that. It's now up to 10. So they've actually matched it with the statutory period. And this notice that happened last year in June or July, and this applies to any request pending with the IRS, requests previously denied, requests in litigations, requests that were in final litigation, and so forth. But one of the things that I think was really good about this new change is it used to be what's called a weight of factors. And it used to be that if the innocent spouse had knowledge, they couldn't get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now it's been decided that if there was an abuse situation, abuse will get the innocent spouse out of being liable for the tax.
Because they were in fear of their life or their
whatever
bodily
the case
harm.
is,
okay.
They're going to allow that. I mean, may have had knowledge, but how much knowledge? How free was she to tell what she knew?
Gotcha.
Now, the relief will normally be granted if all 3 conditions are met. No longer married, the innocent spouse is in an economic hardship, no knowledge or had reasonable expectation to not know, and
right.
abuse may be may mitigate the knowledge. And that, I think that's a tremendous change in the law.
And we're out of time, so you want more? Give Everett a call at 533-4131.
EverettHughes.com, and you can listen to this next week.